Hi YouTube, welcome to Pagan Perspective. This is Megan, aka Spearstery. I am coming to you from the car. We are coming home from work. Oh my goodness. And I actually have my wife over here. She's doing the driving. So we are talking about pagan prayers today. I love praying. Praying is awesome. I am a big believer in prayer. And there's a lot of hereditary prayers that are passed down from generation to generation. There's a lot of things that are in ritual that are prayer-like, as well as just the day-to-day stuff, the stuff that you say every once in a while. My family also tends to be a little superstitious, so we have little prayers like that and things that we say. We're very much a knock on wood type family, which is odd. You know, we have all these little tiny mini prayers that we will do to ward off things, right? Even though we can't really tell you why we would be doing that, but we do it. So basically, when it comes to prayers though, there's a big difference between a spell and a prayer to me. Even though they are essentially doing very similar things, a spell is much more concentrated, and it's also relying on your own internal energy as much as the external energy from whatever deity you're calling on, or elemental, or fae, or anyone who you might be trying to reach with your spell. You're also relying on your internal energy. So a prayer is less about your internal energy, and it's more asking the universe, asking the God, asking the goddess, asking whoever it may be, whatever chosen deity you have or element you have, for something specific, right? Or even just for general goodwill and prosperity or hope, strength, all sorts of things that you can pray for. However, it's not something that is an energy that you're bringing forth from yourself to manifest into something that's happening, that's going to happen. You're asking for a force outside of yourself to help you in some way or to help somebody else, but you're not manifesting it. So that's basically the essential difference that I see between a prayer and a spell. However, I will sometimes, when talking to people, talk about a spell like a prayer, right? Because the idea is that it is something that has some ritual to it. Oftentimes, in many religions, the prayer is ritualized, and so spell work has that same ritual component. So it allows people to have a connection to what a spell is without sort of that mystique and maybe that unknown that they might be a little worried about. So when I think about prayers in my own practice, I am one of those people who do a lot of silent praying. I always have a silent prayer before I eat, before I drive. And these are things that I just say to myself. I'm very used to having things happen kind of in my own head. I don't say a ton of things out loud, which is something that I want to change, and I actually want to do differently, because once I have kids, I really want to pass that on. And there's so much that I do that I've just internalized so that it doesn't show to anybody else. You know, when you are in school and college and grad school, all of that, and you're saying a prayer right before you eat, it makes you stand out, right? And it wasn't the standing out that I wanted at the time. So I got really used to just doing everything internally, you know, my own little gratitude, my own little thank you for everything that I have. And then on top of that, before I go to bed, not every night, but I certainly do say prayers in my mind again. And also when things are scary or upsetting to me. So if I'm in a situation, I found myself actually recently in this situation. My beautiful wife, who's sitting over here, she did something amazing. She actually rode up to the top of a volcano for charity, which was insanely amazing. And I had to drive, so it was sort of my own little challenge, if you would. I'm not the world's most confident driver, so to speak, and it was a little bit scary. And so there were many times along that drive where I was sending out prayers to the goddess because I was nervous and I was scared. And I've done that many, many times. In fact, back in New Hampshire, I would pray during the winter quite a bit when I was driving, just to get me through things. And it was just praying for that energy, that extra energy, and for the safe travel. So I do use prayer in that way, and I think it's really valuable and an important tool. I definitely want to pass that on to our kids, and something that they're able to take away from it too. And I have lots of little like prayer songs and little things too that I've used over the years. So yeah, so I really am a big fan of it. I think that it's certainly not interchangeable with spell work, but there are similarities, and I certainly have used it to make an example in some type of comparison to help people understand who are very unfamiliar with what a spell is. So yeah, so that's about it for today. Sorry this video is getting up late. Remember, I'm 6 hours behind Eastern Standard Time, so in like New York, New England time on the East Coast of the United States of America. I am 6 hours behind that. So for me, it's still daylight out. It's still beautiful in daylight, and but it's, I think, already like almost the next day. So so you're seeing this, it's gonna still be Friday for me, and you happen to be in the East Coast of the United States. You're like in the future. I'm talking to you like in the future. It's awesome. So you're like already into Saturday. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. Oh my gosh, oh, the sun's so crazy bright here. As always, blessed be, take care of yourselves, happy summer, and aloha.